So yeah, so you guys should be able to hear me then. Suppose I can go with some louder audio. Yes, does this? Let's go louder. It should be louder. So I actually don't know how loud this really is. So if anyone is watching and thinking, well, this is way too loud, just tell me. So new console releases have been put out, and I'm trying to sort of say what to put it in perspective of what's going on and what it actually is. Um, so a lot of people are concerned that Nintendo is gonna do bad because these consoles are obviously a lot stronger than the Nintendo Switch, and that's necessarily definitely isn't gonna be true. Um, so there's a few things going on with this. So actually, there's a whole component of hardware design, and we have seen in the last decade or so that everyone is moving to x86 because it's a lot easier to develop for. And we also see a lot of people going to ARM processors because they're also quite easy to do develop for. So that's the first thing going on. And we have seen dramatic increase in non-chips uh, in the technology of how they work. So we see better SSD, we see better processors, we see smaller nanometer processors. So that's all been going quite well actually. So now to put it in perspective, why is what's going on now is that actually the next generation launch is planned pretty shitty if we knew the circumstances economically because well some countries are doing quite well but most aren't under this corona circumstances, so there's that. There's also the thing that getting your whole supply chain up is actually quite challenging in these times. So that's what I want to put out first is if you look at what's going on with the new console releases, then these are the few things to take note of. The second thing is that I don't know if it's either Xbox or PlayStation that this does this, but important to note is that one of these two, I think it's the Xbox Series X, actually required to run new third-party games on both systems for a while, which is not a bad idea for the simple fact that we have an ongoing corona crisis. But in reality, it's also not the best thing going for development. So something that's pretty exciting. The owner of Epic Games is pretty excited about this. So my connection isn't stable. Excuse me. So the owner of Epic Games is pretty damn excited about the PlayStation 5. And fair enough, for good reason, because the SSD development they put in is very interesting, at least on paper. So we have to see that in reality. So the Xbox Series X to me personally isn't that interesting, and both won't have enough production units to actually go into normal sales. So the whole situation with the Corona crisis, marching up, and then we have Nintendo actually not putting enough consoles out. So that's definitely just gonna happen to the new console generation. If by then economic circumstances moment, because I think that's all I have to say about this topic. But I just want to put it out, and I want to put this on Steamheads to help people understand this topic better. At the moment, we are in a point in time where computational power from processors hasn't significantly changed for better or worse in the last 8 to 10 years, which is pretty new. But that's the first time in 30 years that we actually can state something like that. What did change is the speed we can access memory at. So the DDR4. So um, just to give you a brief, quick examples, that the SSDs have become a lot quicker, and even better, in my opinion, is the RAM. I mean, with better RAM. So I have like a 1.2 gigahertz processor, quad core on 10 nanometers, which can access my DDR4 RAM freaking fast. So it feels like an insane upgrade, even though my base clock is a lot lower than on my 2.7 gigahertz machine. So there's also turbine to take into account with that whole thing. But to be fair, accessing memory is the biggest task on your computer. Like you need something out of memory all the time. So that's actually where the next fight is going to be: is who's going to have the fastest memory and not the fastest core clocks. Okay, so that was just a bit of my knowledge on this topic, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed your weekends Monday right now, and you probably see more crap coming up about this whole thing. But yeah, we'll see.